Alright, welcome back to the Game Smash Podcast. As always, I'm your host, William Liberty, and with me is...
Fawaz Muhammad Yusuf.
And today we got some stuff. We got Fallout 4 DLCs detailed. We got Destiny sequel coming in 2017. Also a big expansion dropping this year. We got Mass Effect Andromeda lead writer leaving to work with Bungie. We got Microsoft announcing Dark Souls 3 pre-orders will give you Dark Souls 1 for free. New Pokemon announced. New Odin Sphere trailer, English release, and Street Fighter V will have no online lobbies and spectating till March, and that's pretty much what we got. But let's talk about what we played this week. Obviously, I played more XCOM 2, big surprise, you know. And I'm still having a lot of fun. I'm actually close to the end now.
Oh, okay.
Like, I think I got like a couple more missions. I kind of like that it's not in a really spoilery way. I kind of like how it's sort of like as far as like how you come to the end, it's a similar kind of feel to XCOM 1.
Okay.
Like just how the story kind of progresses, and I like that. It's kind of like a neat like little callback, considering this is like it's supposed to be an alternate universe where you've lost XCOM 1.
So pretty much doing the same thing.
Yeah. So it's
okay,
cool.
That does make sense.
It's a cool callback, and I enjoyed some of the aliens though near the end that you have to fight are freaking brutal. Like they're just brutally hard, and surprisingly though, it's like the Sectopod is actually not as bad to deal with as he was in XCOM 1.
Huh.
Because the Sectopod, there's a lot more ways to deal with robotic enemies in this game than there was in XCOM 1.
Oh,
so you have more options. But the Gatekeeper, ugh. But anyway, I had a lot of fun with that. So hopefully I'll be beating that soon. And I picked up Street Fighter V.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I got my copy as well. I tried to unlock colors. Because I know I was looking at, okay, how do you unlock colors and whatnot for, for your characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have to do survival mode, so I was playing a little bit of that. I had a thing with, I got really ticked off where I got, in order to unlock a bunch of colors, you have to play normal and survive 30 rounds.
Yeah.
I got to 26 rounds. That was, because I got freaking blown up by Zangief. So I was like, ah! And I was like, that was brutal. And then I tried my second attempt. I got to 20 rounds, and the login servers forcefully logged me out, and they actually kicked me out of my round. So, yeah, that was nice. So then I decided to play survival mode on easy, and I unlocked one color. Yay! Success. But I've been having fun with that. Big surprise, though. I did not expect this. Right now, I think my main is going to be Birdie.
Really?
Yeah, because right now he's the only character I can really do the moves well with.
Yeah.
Like, his moves are simple enough for me to get and understand. And I like his chain mechanic. His chain mechanic is really cool. But yeah, just surprisingly, I did not think Birdie was going to be my main, but it is really looking like Birdie's going to be my main. But yeah, that's what I played this week. What about you, Fawaz?
Well, I bought Street Fighter V, so that was pretty much what I played. And honestly, I wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed, and I guess I was just used. And I honestly, I'm gonna talk about this later on in the podcast. So yeah, let's just leave it at that. Street Fighter V was what I played this week. Moving on to the news.
Alrighty then. Well, that was quick. So we got Fallout 4 DLC detailed and season pass shenanigans. So basically, they announced a bunch of Fallout 4 DLC. The Automatron DLC, which is about $10. It gives you access to robots in the world that you can fight. Customize, and you can get your own robot buddy.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. You'll be able to customize your robots with parts and voices and whatnot. They announced the Wasteland Workshop DLC, which is $5, which allows you to capture wasteland creatures with traps that you can build, and more customizable options for the settlements. And then finally, they also announced the Far Harbor for about $25, and it's a basic DLC expansion. You know, to like kind of it seems around the lines of hopefully Dawngate or whatever. Dragonborn, yeah, that would be the one. Where it's a big expansion. You know, you go to a new area and a bunch of quests, bunch of new gear and whatnot. So they announced this, and overall it looks pretty good. We haven't seen any trailers, just sort of like basic pricing and features. But they did state that because of these new DLCs that they apparently weren't planned or something, I don't know, they're increasing the price from $30 to about $50. However, those who already bought it, they still get all the DLC that's getting added, from what I can tell. And those who want to purchase the season pass for the $30 can do so before March 1st, and that's when the price will increase to $50. I feel that this is a little bit scummy because in a way it's like, okay, good, like the people who bought the season pass, it's not like, oh, by the way, we want 20 extra bucks. Like, you know, I'm glad that they didn't do that, or else I'd be tearing their assholes apart. Pause. Because, like, Jesus, that's just brutal. But the thing about this is that it felt like a little bit of like, you know, oh, we're being the nice guys here. Oh, look, our season pass sales are increasing. Look how fast they're going now, because everyone's buying it. So it's kind of like I feel kind of mixed about the whole situation. But what do you feel about it so far?
Okay. For me, it's okay. Like right now, I'm indifferent.
Yeah.
Because I haven't even finished Fallout 4, right? So, like, same thing with The Witcher, where you know they offered me the season pass when I was buying The Witcher, and I'm like, I'm not even sure if I like this game yet. I haven't played it, so I'm not even going to bother. Same with Fallout 4. As of right now, the season pass doesn't even exist to me, right? In terms of principle, though, for me, here's the thing. Fallout 3 had 5 different post-launch DLCs, right? Right. Each one cost $10.
Right.
So at the end of the day, you paid $50 for DLC in Fallout 3. Mm-hmm. Now with Fallout 4, they're asking you to pay upfront for 5 DLCs. The way I see it, if because the first 2 don't seem very good. The Automatron and the other one, they seem kind of mad.
I'm more interested in the Automatron one than I am in the Workshop one.
Yeah, the Workshop one seems very whack. But the first 2 don't seem very impressive. The third one though, the one that costs $25, it's for Far Harbor. It seems a lot more interesting, and like if Far Harbor and the other 2 DLCs that we don't know of yet, if they're both full-fledged expansions, then $50 for a season pass is a good deal, in my opinion. In fact, $50 for a season pass is a steal. If the last 3 are like full-fledged expansions. However, I'm not going to buy the season pass until I know what all 5 of the things that the only game I've ever bought a season pass for was Injustice, and that's because Injustice detailed you're getting 4 characters for this amount of money, and I'm like, okay, 4 characters, that seems decent. You know what? No, I didn't even buy Injustice season pass. Thinking about it,
great example for us.
I don't do season passes because even with Injustice, I was like, okay, I don't know who these 4 characters are going to be. They ended up being shit. So thank God in hindsight that I didn't buy the season pass, and it's going to be the same thing here.
Well, like, that's the biggest thing is that like I feel like this was done to just create more ad revenue. Like at the end of the day. Like, it was basically done just so that it's like, oh, we want more people to buy the season passes, so buy it now before the price increases. And it's just like, we still don't know how good these DLCs are going to be. So it's just...
Yeah, pretty much. Like the DLCs, they might end up being shit. In which case, I just gave them $50 for nothing. So I have no intention. Like it's a pity because I was buying like $30 for the season pass. I was like, that's pretty decent. But that would be pretty decent if they gave us a couple of expansion packs, similar to the Shivering Isles and shit like that.
Yeah.
But, like, here's the thing, though. Bethesda have a very good track record with DLC. I'll give them that. Fallout 3 had really good DLC. Oblivion and Skyrim had... Skyrim's DLC was hit or miss sometimes. No, that's not true. Dawnguard and Dragonborn were pretty solid DLCs.
I really like Dawnguard a lot. Dawnguard was...
So, like, so far they have a pretty good track record. I loved Fallout 3's DLCs. So I'm... they get the benefit of the doubt with me. I'm not gonna shit on them yet, but I appreciate the transparency. They just kept it real. They were like, you know what, because they said it, like when they announced the season pass, they said they don't even know what they're doing for DLC yet. They said this when they announced the season pass. They know they're going to do DLC for this game, but honestly, they have no idea what's going to be in the DLC. So, they set it at a price that I guess they thought was reasonable, $30. Right. Instead of working on the DLC, I guess they had all these ideas, and they were like, you know what, this is becoming bigger than we anticipated, so let's increase the price. And that's all fine and dandy as far as I'm concerned, right? Fair enough. If down the line the DLC turns out being really good, I'll gladly pay $50 for it, but I'm not paying $30 up front for something I don't know. I just don't handle my money
that's
that
pretty
way.
much.
Especially for a game I haven't beaten.
Yeah, that's the funny thing is that like, DLC, I haven't even beaten the main campaign yet.
These are massive games. I said the same thing with I've said the same thing with The Witcher 3 numerous times now. Like I am just about to beat The Witcher 3, so I'm at the point where I'm going to start considering buying DLC. There's still New Game Plus, and there's still a bunch of stuff. Like I didn't even touch Gwent, the whole card side. I didn't even touch that. Oh, okay. So I might not even bother with the DLC yet. I probably will eventually. I will.
Well,
let's just call it.
I know you, Fawaz. You will. You're just gonna cave.
Yeah, but no, I have no problems with this. I'm not upset about this at all. I think this is fair. I think this is honest. They just kept it like I honestly I appreciate the transparency. Like because right out the gate they said that they weren't sure what they were doing with the DLC. Now that they know what they're doing with the DLC, they're like, okay, cool. This is how much it's going to cost. But if you buy this now, you can get it for a higher price, and it works because the season pass is one of the highest selling things on Steam.
Yeah.
For last week, so. Hey, I guess they know what they're doing. Yeah, it does kind of reek of infomercial type bullshit. Oh, but wait, order now and you can get it at this low price.
Yeah.
But overall, I don't really. Yeah. I'm not mad at them. Maybe I'm biased because I have a soft spot for Bethesda. But in general, I'm trying to be
optimistic. We've switched spots today.
No. I'm trying to put my bias aside and just thinking about this practically. I don't see any negative for what they're doing right now. I really don't. If the DLCs come out and they all suck, then for me, because I guess it's because I take the stance of don't buy season pass. I never buy season pass until I know what's in them, right? So, like, if you buy a season pass and it turns out that it's garbage, I blame you. I don't blame the developer.
No.
So that's probably why
I understand that. I understand that, Fawaz. I'm just saying that in retrospect. I'm thinking, like, prospectively, like, what if someone is like, all right, sure, I'll pay $30 for the season pass, no problem. Then they increase it to $50, and it's like, well, now I have to get it now because I don't want to pay $50. So that's the only thing that makes me go a little bit, okay, Bethesda, all right. But, overall, it's not the worst thing that they could have done. Like, at the very least, I applaud them for, at the very least, allowing people to purchase it at the original cost.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the very least.
Yeah, this is the developer that gave us Horse Armor a couple years ago.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I mean, we've still got a few depths to go before they hit rock bottom again.
Right, fair enough.
But speaking of rock bottom,
well,
so Destiny.
we'll see. We'll see. Destiny sequel is coming in 2017, so we do have confirmation on that. And a big expansion is going to probably be dropping this year. Now, obviously, we already knew about the Destiny sequel coming in 2017. We knew about this, right?
Yeah.
Now, the big expansion dropping this year, is that really necessary? Do we really need another expansion for Destiny? Like,
I mean, I'm all for expansions. I love expansions. You know, I prefer expansion for the most part. I prefer expansions over sequels, to be completely honest. So, like, if I was a fan of Destiny, which I'm not, this would probably be. This is what I like. I like seeing, you know, constant post-launch support.
yeah.
And from what I hear, The Taken King was a really good expansion. You
Yeah.
know, were it not for the fact that Bungie shat the bed so hard with the original game, I think a lot more people would have been singing praises of The Taken King. But, you know, so The Taken King was apparently a really good expansion. So hopefully this expansion continues the positive trend. With all that said, I don't care about Destiny. I just don't care. And, you know, part of it is bias because I've seen how upset a lot of my friends, Jason specifically, like I can't even mention Destiny around him. I can't. He goes on tilt every time I just say the word. It could be completely unrelated. I could be like, yo, Jason, you realize that's your destiny, and he just loses it. Like straight up, that word it triggers him now. But yeah, man. So maybe part of it is just bias from that because I saw how badly they hurt my homies. So I'm like, you know what, screw these guys. But like on top of that, I've just heard a lot of bad stuff about Destiny, and I didn't appreciate the fact that you know you had to pay for them to fix the original game.
No,
you know?
I agree with you mostly on how Destiny was really poorly handled, and just certain decision choices just really made the whole situation just kind of worse. But personally, I gave them some credit for at least attempting to fix it because I know of too many companies that released games and don't fix them. Like, because it's like, that was the bigger issue for me. It's like, if Destiny came out, it's like, it's fine, whatever, and then they didn't even attempt to fix it, I would have been more mad at them. But I give them at least some credit for trying. Which is, I'm more excited for Destiny 2 because I'm hoping, at the very least, that they're going to learn from their mistakes. And this is a hope. This is optimistic Tanner here.
Yeah, I was about to say, what gives you the impression that they would learn from their mistakes?
Well, I have one, which
the first Destiny sold really well.
Yeah. No.
So, like...
No, I know it sold well for Waz, but I'm saying that critically, though, it was more mixed, and this was way obvious. Like,
let me ask you a quick question. Sorry for cutting you.
Okay, go for it.
Do you think reviews can polish Lamborghinis? Because I know money can, right? So do you think, like, whoever the head of Bungie is cares about what Metacritic says about their game when their game was the highest selling IP of last year? And this is the part that really gets me.
Okay.
And this is the Taken King was one of the highest selling games the month that it came out. Meaning that gamers have not gotten to that point where they are upset about the way Destiny was. So there's no reason for me to believe that Bungie is going to learn. You know, like you look at Assassin's Creed, Unity did not sell very well. So when they were like, we're going to fix it with Brotherhood, I was like, I can believe that because Unity did not sell very well. But Destiny did, both of the DLCs did, and the Taken King did. So there's no reason for me to believe they've learned from their mistakes.
Fair enough.
But hey.
Fair enough. Personally, I'm going to be Mr. Optimistic, and I'm going to hold on to my dreams and my hopes. But like okay, I wanted to get into the point that I was trying to, and this is our next point of news. That something that does give me a bit of a glimmer of hope is that one of the lead writers for Mass Effect Andromeda has left BioWare to work with Bungie, most likely on Destiny 2. And that actually gives me a lot of hope because one of the biggest criticisms for Destiny was its writing quality was non-existent.
Touché.
Like, and that was what bummed me out the most about Destiny. It wasn't the gameplay mechanics. It wasn't the constant grinding. It was the fact that when people were telling me about the world and how there was just nothing going for it. and how apparently the voice direction was just super bad, even though they had top quality voice actors, which I found even more infuriating. Because it's like you have the tools to make a really good game, but you just poorly used it. So I'm hoping that this is a sign that, all right, we know one of the biggest criticisms for Destiny was like, okay, the writing quality was not great. We're hoping to improve that respect at the very least. So that does give me a bit of a glimmer of hope. We obviously don't know a whole lot about Destiny 2, right? Like this is all just speculation. You know, it could be, you know, my optimistic future where it has a interesting story, improved gameplay, and just overall better, you know, design. Or it could be, you know, Fawaz's future where it's just the same game, slightly tweaked, and it's nothing noteworthy. So it could go either way.
Here's a quick question. When Bungie announced Destiny, did they or did they not say that they were planning on that Destiny was going to be a platform that they were going to be upgrading over the course of 10 years?
They did, and I feel that the reason that they changed that idea was because they realized that the platform that they created was not really a good platform. Personally. Personally, realistically, I don't know why. Maybe they just maybe it's just money in their eyes. I don't
think it had anything to do with the fact that it sold, that it sold 25. Oh no, wait, how much has it sold?
I don't rightly know. I don't know.
Yeah, the game shipped more than $500 million to retail stores in the first week, I think. You don't think it has anything to do with that? They were like, you know what? We could just keep updating this, or
well, it's like, I know. I realistically know it's probably for the money, but it's like, honestly, I would be more interested in I am way more interested in Destiny 2 than I am in Destiny at this point, because I know there's only so much you can do to fix it. Realistically, there's only so much that can be done. I don't know. I mean, I agree with you in the sense where it's like the whole Destiny shenanigans and, you know, bullshit with the story and the expansions and whatnot is kind of gross. So I agree with you with that. I don't know. I'm hoping that at the very least we do get a improved version on a better platform, but who knows? It could be just as bad. But in our next piece of news, we got Microsoft announcing that the Dark Souls 3, any person who pre-orders Dark Souls 3 will be given a free copy of Dark Souls 1. And this is overall pretty cool. Pretty cool news.
Yeah, this is, I think, the third time Microsoft have done this. They did it with Rainbow Six. You got Vegas for free. Yeah. They did it with, Dark Souls. They did it with Fallout. You got Fallout 3. So I really like the fact that Microsoft are using the whole backwards compatibility to... I feel like it's a very, very good application of the backwards compatibility. Props, we don't talk a lot about we don't talk a lot about Microsoft on this podcast, to be honest. So I just want to give them some credit. I feel like this is a really good system they've developed, and I look forward to seeing how they implement it more. Maybe we get a Mass Effect trilogy when Andromeda launches. Maybe we'll get a Skyrim when Elder Scrolls 6 launches.
I know there is actually a Mass Effect trilogy released at the moment. It's just only for the 360.
Yeah, I know. I meant backwards compatible.
Oh, you mean like an actual backwards? Okay, I see what you're getting at. But overall, honestly, I still feel like the Xbox One has done an overall better job. It has improved tremendously from where it came from, at the beginning. And overall, the two things that make me go, man, I wish I had an Xbox One is, one, I want to play Killer Instinct. And two, I want more backwards compatibility. I was smart and I didn't sell my PS3, so honestly, I'm not at a loss here. It's just kind of laziness.
Yeah.
And it's but still, I applaud them for doing this. I like this new weird trend of releasing the older game with the newer game. BioShock Infinite did it as well. You got a copy of BioShock 1 when you bought BioShock Infinite.
Okay, yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. I like that. I think that's a kind of cool little thing. Oh, by the way, if you never got a chance to play the original, here's the original. Like,
these two do with Bayonetta as
yeah,
well.
they Bayoneted it. I feel really bad to say this, but I mostly played Bayonetta 1, and I haven't even beaten Bayonetta 2 yet.
Like, people like you make me sick, Tanner. Like, I'm blessed with this amazing game that's exclusive to this console that I own, but I'm not going to finish it. I'm just going to sit here and stare at it.
Okay, listen, Fawaz. I'm a busy guy, alright? I got lots of games. I haven't beaten Fallout 4 yet. You know, if I didn't play the current games, I'd just be talking about games from the last 4 years.
I bet you're the kind of guy that buys a meal, goes to the homeless, and then just pours it out in front of them. Like, yep, I'm not even gonna eat this. I'm just showing you that you can't have it.
Someone seems to be really butthurt that he does not have access to Bayonetta 2.
Bayonetta 2 and XCOM 2. I'm like, what did I ever do to anyone?
Listen, I've been spending my free time playing XCOM 2 because I know if I didn't, you wouldn't shut up about it. So
yeah, I break into your house and shank you while you were sleeping.
Yeah,
straight up.
exactly.
I'm not even like...
Hey, what are you complaining about? I invited you over. We did a quick look, by the way, those who are concerned. We did a quick look of XCOM 2 recently. I invited Fawaz over because he was crying at my doorstep. Please let me in. I have to play XCOM 2.
Exaggeration, but sure.
No, yeah, totally. Because we're not known for exaggerating anything on this podcast.
Oh my god. Moving on to the next point.
There's a new Pokemon. Woot.
Yeah, new Pokemon. This was such a weird announcement. Apparently, this is another man-made Pokemon. So she falls in the same realm as Mewtwo.
Yeah.
Yeah, her name is I can't pronounce this. You take a shot at this.
Yep, there we go.
I'm just gonna Majarna. I'm gonna go
Majarna. Let's go with that.
Yeah, and she will appear in the next Pokemon movie coming out later this year. Yeah. Apparently, a corrupt minister has stolen her, an artificial Pokemon that was created over 500 years ago, in order to use its power to take control of the mechanical kingdom. More information will be revealed on Majarna at a later date. No news about when she's going to be introduced into an actual game, shit that we care about.
Yeah.
But it was pretty interesting. They'd been building her up for a while, and they were like, she's like the next step. It was Mewtwo, and now it's her. So yeah, good stuff. Although, have you ever, real quick, Tanner, have you ever reported on a piece of news, and as you are reporting on the news, you're like, man, this really isn't news?
Yeah, I have a couple times. Yeah, like it's bizarre sometimes. Like it's honestly, when I saw the headline, I was like, okay, this is a new Pokemon, but it's not in a new game. It's just in a new movie. In a weird way, this is more movie news than actual game news in an odd way. But I don't know. I mean, I found it kind of funny because the Pokemon, there's a Pokemon I think in X and Y that it's sort of like a gear Pokemon. It's like a bunch of gears, like the all sort of. It's basically, you know how God, what is that one Pokemon that's basically it's 3 of them glued together?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? There's a gear version of that, and it looks like an evolution of that Pokemon, like a weird like evolution of that. And I mean, overall, it looks kind of cool. I think now I'm starting to realize that it's like, okay, we're done with animals. It's going to be inanimate objects. Like, that's the only way moving forward. We've got gears. We're going to get light bulbs. We've already got candles. So we might as well, like, look for other, I'm pretty sure spray paint, tripod Pokemon is going to end up. Tripod Pokemon would be pretty cool, now that I think about it.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about, like, because obviously there's more, like, physical object Pokemon, like a gear Pokemon. Like, sort of similar to this. That's what I'm talking about. Like, the future for Pokemon isn't animals. It's inanimate objects. That's what I'm saying.
I'm still holding out for the door.
Yes! We really need to push door Pokemon.
Yeah, he starts up as a knob, and then he evolves into a door. His final evolution.
I want his final evolution is a automatic door that just opens automatically.
As opposed to an automatic door that opens manually.
Okay. Fuck you, Fawaz. What did I do to deserve this?
Oh my god. Moving on to actual video game news. Odin Sphere Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother trying to pronounce that subtitle.
Yeah.
Odin Sphere gets an English trailer. One of the first English, because most of the game's promotion has so far been in Japanese.
Yeah.
So we finally got an English trailer. I mean, granted, this trailer is a little old, but it's a slow news week. Cut us some slack here.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty cool trailer. It got me because this is one of those games that I'm probably going to buy when it launches, but I always forget about it. Like it's got what are they called? Vanillaware's trademark amazing artwork.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, the gameplay. I'm not sold on the gameplay yet. It reminds me a lot of Muramasa, and I hated that game.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's nothing like Muramasa. Like because I've read up on the gameplay, and it doesn't sound like Muramasa. Okay. But when I watch it, it looks like Muramasa. So I'm still
on the
little skeptical. But overall, I'm excited for this game. I like the story actually. I like the way they're handling the story. It's 5 separate stories with 5 separate heroes, and they're all intertwining. Like the hero in one story might be the villain in another one.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool. And yeah, overall, man, I loved Dragon's Crown, so I'm gonna keep my eye on this. And it's coming out on the PlayStation ecosystem, so I'll probably get it for my Vita actually. Yeah, give me something to play next time there's a snowstorm and I'm stuck in a bus for 3 hours.
Yeah. But yeah, what was I gonna say? But yeah, no, I like the trailer overall. I thought it was funny though, because I'm like, all right, I'm waiting for it. I'm like, there she is, because I know a thing about Atlas, and Atlas likes to hire the same voice actors for most of their stuff.
Actually?
Yeah, literally. And I was like, Persona. Like, the last character is literally the voice actor for Aegis. And also voiced Nanaka in Persona 4, which you would know more.
Nanako.
Yeah, Nanako. And I thought that was really funny. But that's a cool, like, little thing, like, eternally that I know about Atlas, is that if you start to play a lot of their games,
you notice the same voice actors.
You notice the same voice actors, like, pop up. Like, I noticed this right away in Persona 4 after playing Persona 3, but that's like the same series, so that's understandable. But I thought that was really kind of funny.
That is pretty cool. Hey, like when you enjoy working with, you keep talent in-house, right? You enjoy working with the same group of people. Why? You see directors do this all the time, They film with the same group of actors and actresses. So, that makes perfect sense.
Well, it makes sense also, especially from a anime perspective, because it's like you want to work with the same people that have worked with weird Japanese stuff. So they kind of know how to do it, like,
Yeah, you can't just hire any voice actor to tackle a Japanese script. This is definitely true. But yeah, Odin Sphere Le Thrasir, coming June 7th for the PlayStation ecosystem. Hopefully it's cross-buy. I would really love it if it was cross-buy, but I'm not going to hold my breath. Dragon's Crown was not cross-buy, so there is no precedence here. But keep your eye out on that. Hopefully it follows Valkyria Chronicles' lead and doesn't cost a full $80.
I'm hoping for at least $40. At the very least $40.
Yeah. Hopefully. So we'll see. Finally. Street Fighter V launched without online lobbies or spectating or challenge modes or the online store. So I want to get your thoughts on launching incomplete games. And just for the record, this actually ties into our question of the day. So I guess we're just going to tackle both simultaneously.
Well, there's a couple things more with Street Fighter that surprised me and didn't surprise me. The thing that surprised... Now, I actually did kind of know that I didn't think the stores were going to be online right away. I had heard things about this before the launch, so I kind of expected the store not to be there. I wasn't exactly happy that the store wasn't there, but I knew that the store wasn't going to be there from other sources. The fact that there's no online lobbies confused me, and I want to clarify something so that I can get this straight. So there is currently no way to play online with friends at the moment. Yes or no?
There is a way. Apparently it's a pain in the ass.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently it's really difficult to connect to a friend, but it is possible.
It is possible.
I just haven't met anyone that's actually done it.
Done it yet.
Yeah.
Now that is a bit of a problem. Spectating doesn't really bother me that because it's spectating. If I wanted to spectate someone, I could just go to Twitch. Like, you know, and I understand, like, it's supposed to be there, but the biggest thing that ticks me off about this is that, yeah, there's no online lobbies, and I thought the whole point of the betas was to prepare for when everybody logged on day one to have some sort of like, okay, you know, can we play the game now, please? So I was a little bit disappointed because I was like, what was the point of the beta? The beta was supposed to prepare you guys for this, and you still weren't prepared for it. Like, and this isn't like a thing where it's like, well, GTA 5 had a terrible launch. Well, I'm like, yeah, GTA 5 is a giant freaking game. It's an enormous game. This isn't exactly, I wouldn't say it's the biggest game out there, like, compared to some other titles that we've played. It's a good game, but it's not, like, the biggest. I don't know, I was just sort of like, I was more ticked off that about my earlier story about getting logged when I was playing the game on a single player thing, and logging off actually kicked me out of the survival mode and ruined my standing in the survival mode. That's something that's like, did you guys not think about that?
Like, so I'm gonna tackle this.
Okay, go
sorry,
for
are
it.
you done?
I might chime in again, but you can take a swing at it. Well,
Okay, so I'm gonna tackle this from I'm gonna take this two different approaches with this. First of all, I'll tackle for Street Fighter 5. So Street Fighter 5 like had one of the worst launches I have personally been involved in a very long time. Like straight up. It's okay. So they mentioned, they told us before the game launched. They told us like a week before the game launched that there was not going to be any trial mode. There was not going to be online lobbies. And you know, it was like, okay, cool. That's cool. Disappointing that they were coming in March and we're going to be free. I was like, that's disappointing, but that's cool. It's whatever, right? So then I played the game, and there's not a whole lot of single player content in this game. You know, the story modes are 3 fights. And that's it, which is fine, whatever. I was only doing the story modes for 5 money anyway, so I preferred that they were short. The survival mode is actually pretty cool. I like the survival mode.
The survival mode was actually a lot of fun. It's a little bit grindy if you're trying to get costumes, but it's still like something to do. Like
I like the fact that you can, because you know people are complaining that there's no AI stuff to play against, and I'm like, you can play survival mode, right? I like the fact that you know you can get upgrades in between matches and shit like that. I like that. But like, here's my big thing, you know. So the Street Fighter 5's entire thing was that they were trying to capture the casual market, right?
Right. Then
you launch a bare bones game. Like, casual players don't care about training mode for the most part. They don't care about most of this other stuff. They want a lot of chunky single player content. They want like an in-depth story mode. They want sort of like Soul Calibur used to do. They want arcade mode. They want all these features that you could have easily implemented, like very easily implemented, right? So then the flip side of that is that, okay, this game they released it. The story is that they released it this early because the tournament circuit starts this month, so they wanted it to launch before the tournament circuit started. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, and that's all fine and dandy. But like, okay, why did you have 4 bit? Like, the game, oh my god, like, I have so many things to complain about. I'm not even cohesive right now. Like, the games, the servers are shit. Like I mentioned, I don't know a single person that is actually connected to the friend. And this is on consoles. The PC version is even worse.
Really?
Like, fight sticks aren't even working on the PC version. Like, the PC version is an absolute mess right now. The console version, the servers, the servers are shit. So you can't log into the servers half the time. Okay, cool. So I'll just go offline because I just want to play offline stuff anyway. You can't earn fight money when you're playing offline.
Yeah.
This game was so. I'm like, why did you have 4 betas if you couldn't even get the servers ready for launch?
That's the thing that ticks me off the most about this. It's like, okay, there's missing features, fine. I know it's coming eventually, but it's like I was expecting a slightly somewhat stable like online system. Like I'm not expecting like top tier quality, but I'm expecting like something that I can at least like if I wanted to play a game with UFOs online, like realistically it'd be pretty damn difficult to achieve. And I feel like that's silly. I feel like that's really silly that I can't. Now, I will also admit, and I didn't realize this when I was looking at the box of Street Fighter V, it said play with people who also, like, PC and PS4 players can play together.
Yeah.
And immediately, when I hear those words, console to PC, I go, oh, fuck. Because I have not yet seen a game handle that properly at all. Every single person who I've talked to that has bought a game that is like console to PC, like servers connect or whatever, has always come up and said, no, it barely functions. I can't connect with my PC friends, and I can barely connect with my console friends. So I feel like that was something that I should have noticed earlier on. That was a big warning. But I don't know. It bums me out because I'm still kind of enjoying the game. Like, it's one of those situations where it's like, this is unfortunately a scenario where it's like, no, it's not really worth picking up at launch.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Realistically, like, only if it's like, let's say you lived closer by, right? Because me and Foz, we live relatively far away from each other, and it's like if we lived closer by, and I could just walk over and we could just play offline versus, right?
Yeah.
And we could get a good amount of fun out of that. You would be kicking my ass, but it would still be fun. But I can't even do that. Like I can't even play with friends on this fighting game, and it's like I'm just sitting there playing survival mode, which is a good fun mode. It's just like,
this game was poorly thought out. But in regards to the actual question of the day, so because I kind of touched on it with my rant about Street Fighter V. But here's the thing, because Jay Streets asked,
this is our question of the day.
He's like, how do we feel? Do we think the internet is hurting gaming because developers feel they can launch incomplete games like Street Fighter V, and then just fix them down the line? And I don't think so. Now, let me elaborate on why. Okay, like, there are some negatives, right? But I feel the internet helps more than it hurts. Because for me, game developers will only do as much or as little as we force them to do, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Evolve launched incomplete. They patched a bunch of modes down the line, but no one cared. I guarantee when Evolve 2 launches, that game will launch complete. I can guarantee it. Mm-hmm. When Evolve 2 comes out, that game will launch complete. Because at the end of the day, like I said with Destiny, it all comes down to money. And if we let game developers get away with releasing incomplete games, then it doesn't matter if they can patch it with the internet or not. They will release incomplete games. That's just, they will do as much or as little as we force them to do. And I feel like the internet does more good than harm in the grand scheme of things, because sure, Street Fighter V would not have launched like this if there wasn't internet. I fully believe that this game would have launched feature complete. It would have launched probably in May, but it would have launched feature complete. And but I do feel that because now you see we buy Street Fighter V, and that's the only version of Street Fighter we're going to have to buy. There was like 6 or 7 versions of Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
That's what happens when there is no internet, So I will take some lumps here and there in regards to poor launches and stuff like that. Yeah. To if it means that I can just pay once and not have to shell out a full $60 again.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's perfectly fine.
I feel like the biggest problem with that though is that like now it's becoming the issue where it's like, it's just when you buy a game, it's like, cool, I can't wait to play this a couple months later. Like it's such a weird problem that is more prevalent nowadays than it was back in the day, because before, like like before, like I'm thinking like more of the PS2, Xbox generation, you couldn't do this. Like it was either most of what the game was on the disc, and it was hard to implement DLC. But now it's so easier to implement DLC. But we do get free updates, which is one of the positives.
Yeah.
And like and it's like there's no way for people to fix glitches back in old games because obviously you can't really update an old game.
Yeah.
But like the thing that bothers me is that in some ways we're starting to see this practice of releasing a game and it's meh at launch and then it's good now. And I feel like this is a practice that we probably shouldn't really be tolerating, and it's becoming more prevalent. And like
I actually don't think it is.
I make this point because like I bought a game like that was apparently not the best at launch, Splatoon. Like I feel Splatoon is great now because there's a lot more maps, there's a lot more content, and it's full. Like it is full of content now after like about 8 months when I bought it after its release. And I feel like the problem now is that we're gonna get a similar situation with Street Fighter V, where it's gonna be like 4, maybe even 6 months from now. It's gonna be it's good now, and I don't know.
Yeah, but like here's the thing. Okay, sure, Splatoon was not feature complete at launch, and neither is Street Fighter V. But The Witcher was, Fallout was, Call of Duty was, Assassin's Creed was. I'm just trying to think of like every single release that has come out outside of if select few have been feature complete at launch. I mean, sure, like The Witcher 3, they added more stuff after the game launched, but the game was complete.
Yeah,
Fallout 4
true.
has been patched post-launch, but the game was complete. You know, I feel there are more games that make good use of the internet than there are games that misuse it. Because outside of Evolve, Street Fighter V, and Splatoon, I think most of the games that come out, I mean, Xenoblade Chronicles, Devil's Star, the game was shit, but it was feature complete.
That is true though.
Yeah, I mean, Just Cause 3, like I'm just looking through the list of all the games that have come out recently. And they were all complete. Halo 5 Guardians. The game had its single player, it had its multiplayer, it had some co-op type mode, and they've been adding more stuff. Sure, Star Wars Battlefront was shit, but Star Wars Battlefront was shit. You know, Rise of the Tomb Raider feature complete.
I guess in a way, it's like there are more games that are still coming out relatively completed than incomplete. And the internet, I don't think it's like the internet is the main problem here.
That's the point.
It's exactly like it's just like I don't think the internet is hurting gaming as much as some people like to say it is. Yeah. But I will say this, that there are certain trends though that are starting to pop up because of it. But I don't think it's gonna ruin it. I don't think it's gonna ruin gaming because of it. I think it's just this is one of these really awkward bumps along the road that we're gonna hopefully move past. At least that's sort of my thought, because I'm gonna assume that eventually people are gonna be like and there are people that are calling out Street Fighter on this bullshit right now. Like it's like come on,
people are calling out Street Fighter. People called out Evolve. I mean, the only game that got by was Splatoon. Splatoon somehow managed to sneak through all the shit because Nintendo fans just
I mean, like Splatoon was able to get through all the shit because at the very least it was one of the most colorful, happy fun games to play that year. Even though it didn't have a lot of content, it was still like a well designed game with what.
I mean, so is Street Fighter V.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, it's a well designed game with very little content at the moment. Like, personally, I think there's more content in Splatoon at launch than there was in Street Fighter V.
Okay. Personally. People called all these games out. So it's not even like, I actually don't even think this is something to worry about, to be honest. Because like I said, I'm pretty sure Evolve 2 is going to launch feature complete. I'm pretty sure if they ever release a Super Street Fighter V, this is not going to launch like this, because I can't imagine Capcom is happy with all the negative publicity they're getting. The game is getting devoured on Metacritic right now.
Yeah.
Steam. I didn't check what the Steam rating was, but my friends were like that the Steam rating is like the user rating on Steam. People are shitting on this game, man, and this is not good. I can't imagine. They say any publicity is good publicity. I call bullshit on that. This is not good. I don't think this is good. Yeah, it currently has a 3.5 user score on Metacritic. 3.5.
Yeah.
126 bad reviews in compared to 15 mixed and 31 positive. This is
bear
good.
in mind, I don't usually like to use Metacritic as a basis for anything.
No. I'm not saying. I am saying that this shows that there are a lot of people that are upset about this game, and that's not good for Capcom. No matter how you slice it, that is not a good look. So they dropped the ball with Street Fighter V. And whatever game they are releasing next, I am not going to buy at launch.
Mm-hmm.
But with that said, I am very confident that whatever game they do release next will not launch as broken as Street Fighter V did.
Yeah.
So I don't think this is something that we have to worry about long term.
Like, realistically, like it is definitely something to kind of think about for sure.
It is something to think
about.
But
I don't think it's gonna really like there's always going to be we live in a weird time where there are so many games being made, like both big company and indie kind of games. We have there's so many games that are being made nowadays that there's always going to be the incomplete games, obviously.
Yeah.
Like that it's going to be there, but for every incomplete game there's going to be at least 3 other games that are great and interesting.
Yeah. And honestly, I genuinely believe that even back then, games launched incomplete. The only difference was that was it. GG.
Yeah.
That was the end of that.
There were I will say this, they were probably still some incomplete games back in before the internet became more prevalent. It's just I think 2 things. One, people wouldn't have known about them as fast because the internet wasn't as big. Yeah. So that is an interesting point though to make.
Yeah. And then you don't realize something is missing until the developer tells you. Otherwise, they could be like, no, this is how we wanted to ship the game. Street Fighter, Capcom could have easily just said, no, we don't intend to have a trial mode or anything like that. Mm-hmm. This was how we wanted our game to be at launch. And you can't argue with them. You can just be like, okay, well, the game is shit, but it is complete. It's not a bug, it's a feature. It's a bug. So no, I don't think there's anything to worry about.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be okay. We're gonna move past this. I still want to play against you in Street Fighter V though. It's gonna be a while before I get to do that.
Unfortunately.
Yeah,
well, I've still got a lot of practice to get in. So
who's your main at the moment?
I don't have one.
Oh, you don't have one? You're still kind of testing the waters?
Yeah, I'm still searching. This is honestly, the mode that really, if there was a trial mode in this game, I would probably be playing this game a lot more. Because the lack of a trial mode is really what's getting me. Because I'm trying to figure out combos without knowing, I'm trying to make a combo work that I don't even know, I'm not even sure it's possible, you know?
Right.
So it's weird. I'm sitting in training mode and I'm trying out different strings. And, they might not combo, but it might just be because I got the timing wrong. Or in some cases, I might be struggling to get the timing right in a combo that isn't actually possible. So and then they now factor in the fact that I don't even know which character I want to play. It's just, I'm not it's not in a good place right now. I'm not going to be playing the game a whole lot until March comes around, to be really honest. I don't envision myself spending a lot of time with this game until March.
Yeah. Well, I guess with that, we are going to have to wrap things up. But good question, J Streets. Keep them coming. Yep. Keep them coming. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. If you leave a comment in the comment section, we'll make sure to answer it in the next podcast. And as always, this was your host, William Liberty, and...
Fawaz Muhammad Yusuf.
And we'll see you guys next time. Take care.